Welcome back to the Chad Hasty Show, News Talk, 95.1 FM and 790 AM KFYO, broadcasting from the Culligan Water Studio. Better water, pure and simple. Let's switch gears and let's talk a little high school football as we do every Friday morning this time of year with Stephen Orr from the West Texas Friday Night Scoreboard Show. Stephen, good morning.
Hey, Chad, how are you today?
Doing great. How are you?
Well, I'm doing wonderful. Week 7 of the football season about to kick off. Looks like we're going to have great weather tonight. Might be light jacket weather, but it should be a great night for some football.
That's great. And Week 7, and Estacado just keeps winning.
They do. I tell you what, non-district play. They played Clinton Mountain View last night, won 42-0. Interesting stat from that game. Mountain View went from 8:43 in the first quarter until the first play of the fourth quarter without getting a first down.
Wow.
Estacado was on point on defense last night. They forced 9 punts in the game. The offense sputtered a little bit, but still, especially when they got going in the second half, rolled and a big win there as they wrap up their non-district campaign. Everybody else in that district has this week off as their open week. But Estacado certainly is in fine form, and they've been playing ever since that first week where they lost that 3-point game to Hereford. I think they've kind of flipped the switch, and they seem to be really playing some solid football right now. Go over across town, the other side of town, the Friendship Tigers went up to Amarillo last night to take on the Tascosa Rebels and lost that game 52-7. Tascosa outrushed Friendship 253-148. Both teams are right just less than 100 yards passing, but Friendship just giving up the big plays, and Tascosa able to harness that running game and shut them down, as it were. So Friendship still struggling, looking for the first win of the season. They're now 0-7 on the year. That's not something we're used to hearing when we talk about Friendship.
Yeah, very true. What are some of the games tonight?
Well, in district play kicking off for a vast majority of the region. In District 4 of 5A, Lubbock Monterey gets to host Abilene Cooper. Cooper's at 4-1 on the year. Monterey's at 2-3. Lubbock High goes out and plays Lubbock Cooper and the Pirates. Lubbock High at 1-4. Cooper's at 4-1 on the year, and Lubbock Coronado taking on San Angelo Lakeview, who was 0-5 on the year, and a team that Estacado beat 84-0 a couple of weeks ago. So I would say that Coronado and Lubbock Cooper sitting pretty good. Monterey's got their hands full, the team that probably is going to contend for a district championship as we go through. In that district, drop down in, like as I mentioned earlier, District 1 of 4A1, Levelland, and it has the night off, and Estacado played on last night. Then you go into that District 1 of 3A1, and that's got Littlefield taking on Shallow Water in Shallow Water. Shallow Water comes into that ball game 4-1 with Littlefield 1-4 on the year. This is the first district ball game for both of these teams, and I think Shallow Water probably Littlefield struggled this year. This is a down year for them, or it has been so far. Of course, coming out of the bye week, everything that's happened up to this point has no effect on the playoffs, and you have a chance to kind of hit the reset button, and we'll see. But Shallow Water has been playing some really good football. Muleshoe, 1-4, travels to Slayton to take on the 2-3 Tigers. That's an important ball game for those two teams as they head off in district play. And I think probably Slayton could have an advantage. I don't know. We'll see with Muleshoe. They're in kind of water that's not something that they're used to. Drop down into Division 2, 3A, and you've got Idalou at 2-4 taking on 5-1 Colorado City in Colorado City tonight. That's going to be a very important game for Idalou as they try to kind of get their season back on the right track, and they've got to do it against a very tough opponent in Colorado City. The Wolves playing really good football. Lubbock Roosevelt has the night off after they played Abernathy last week and lost 55-0. Drop down into 2A, District 2 of 2A Division 1, and that's Olton, New Deal, Sundown, Abernathy, and Floydada and Hale Center. 4 of those 6 teams are 5-0.
Wow.
Abernathy, number 7 in the state, Abernathy, hosts the Sundown Roughnecks tonight in what should be an outstanding ball game between two 5-0 teams. And I think that's going to be a very hard-fought game, and probably the winner of that game certainly is going to take a step towards being a favorite for a district championship. Then you've got New Deal at 5-0 taking on Olton at 3-2 on the year. Olton started off pretty hot. They were 3-0 at one time and then dropped a couple of games, but that's a good ball club. And those guys, they've struggled the last couple of years, but they've got the same group of kids that have now played 3 years together, and they're putting together a pretty nice season. New Deal is New Deal. They do what they do, and they do it very well. And then you've got Floydada hosting Hale Center. The Owls, probably of the 4 teams that are undefeated in that district, Hale Center is the one that surprises me the most, but they're 5-0. They take on a 2-3 Floydada team that's played pretty scrappy, and at times they've been in ball games. They just haven't been able to get over the hump, and we'll see if tonight is the difference for them. That's going to be a pivotal ball. If I look at this district, for Floydada and Olton, especially for Floydada, they need to get a win because their district race is so tight. A loss early could really set them way back as far as having the ability to be that 4th playoff team when you come into it. Then drop down into Division 2 of 2A, and you've got Lockney taking on Clarendon. Clarendon's 5-0 on the year. Lockney's 1-4, so they've got their hands full. You've got the Crosby County rivalry tonight. 3-2 Rawls taking on 3-2 Crosbyton. Rawls kind of struggled early, but they've kind of come around, and they're playing pretty good football. Crosbyton the same. They were hampered by injuries early in the season. They're kind of starting to get healthy. Certainly the bye week came at a great time for them, and that should be a good game over at Crosbyton tonight as well in that district. So some pretty good ball games going on. You've got Spring Lake Earth. It was supposed to host Morton tonight. This is kind of an interesting deal. The Morton Indians have forfeited the remainder of their season due to injuries.
Yeah, I saw that. They don't have a lot of players left.
They're down to 14 players, and their coach said that, for safety reasons and just they forfeited. They petitioned the UIL to be allowed to go and play an outlaw 6-man schedule the rest of the year, and the UIL gave them permission to do that. So Morton, as far as their district, that District 3 of 2A Division 2, has forfeited all those games, and they'll be playing a Wildcat schedule. And you hate that for the Indians. That's just a hard place to be. But they had at one time, a couple of weeks ago, I think they had 22 kids on varsity, and they had 8 injuries.
Wow!
And the coach just said, it's not safe.
Can't do it.
So for the well-being of the kids, and kudos to him for doing that, because I know that's a hard decision for him and a hard decision for that team. But so kind of an interesting situation there as well.
Stephen, what's that one or two games that people just have to go to?
Abernathy and Sundown is probably my favorite game on the board, just because of where it is, and those two teams are historically very tough against each other, and I think that'll be the same way tonight. If you want to catch another, a couple of good games, I think Abilene Cooper, Lubbock Monterey could be a good game to go see. Monterey's just got to seal it up on defense, and they've shown times when they can do that, but they're going to have to do it very consistently. And if you want to go watch what I think is probably going to be a blowout, you can go watch the Mustangs play San Angelo Lakeview. I can't see any way that Coronado doesn't come out of there a 3-touchdown win if they show up and play. The danger you get into those games, those are trap games, where you got to make sure your guys are dialed in.
Yeah. See, the coach does not want to hear does not want their team to hear what you just said.
No.
It's going to be a blowout. They don't want to hear that.
I'm like ESPN, as Nick Saban said the other day. I'm rat poison to the T.
Stephen, of course, we appreciate you coming on today, and we'll be listening tonight for the West Texas Friday Night Scoreboard Show.
Chad, we appreciate you having us, and we appreciate all you do for us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That's Stephen Orr, West Texas Friday Night Scoreboard Show. About 10 p.m. to midnight here on KFYO and throughout West Texas. They cover all the West Texas teams. Just a very, very good show and get you caught up to date with all that's going on in high school football.